Let's talk about something real for a second, because I'm not here to pretend everyone starts life on a level playing field. Some people are born into money. Some people grow up around wealth, around safety nets, connections. Privilege is real, and ignoring that would be ridiculous. But here's the part people don't like to say out loud. Two people can be handed the exact same starting line, the same income, the same opportunities, the same curveballs, and one will build a life of wealth, security, and expansion, while the other stays stuck, stressed, burnt out, and broke. So, what's the difference? What separates the people who create extraordinary financial lives from the people who don't? It's habits, it's behavior. It's the tiny, boring, powerful rules you live by every single day. Because privilege can give you a head start, but habits determine whether you keep running or whether you trip yourself up again and again. And that's what today's episode is really about, the rules. The ones that financially successful people follow, and the rules that anyone, yes, including you, can start applying immediately. If money has felt hard, chaotic, or downright confusing, this episode is your blueprint. Just a quick note before we dive in. Everything I share on this podcast is general in nature and does not take your personal circumstances into account. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and nothing you hear on this podcast should be taken as personalized financial, business, taxation, or investment advice. Before you make any financial decisions, please seek guidance from your accountant or a qualified licensed financial advisor who understands your specific situation. A big warm welcome to the Intentional Money Show. I'm your host, Clare Wood, and let me set the scene for this new podcast. This show is going to change the way you think about money forever. I don't believe in coincidences. If you're listening right now, it's because you're ready for more. More wealth, more clarity, and more confidence. And this podcast is going to take you there. If you're ready to step from confused, overwhelmed, and avoidant when it comes to money to being empowered, confident, in control, and building your wealth, you are in the right place. I'm not going to ease you into this one gently. If you want 2026 to be the year that your relationship with money finally changes and your stress around money drops, you're in the right place. So today we're going to talk about rules. I'm not talking about the rules, from the playground or from your boring accountant. I want to talk about rules that wealthy, financially switched on humans live by. The kind of rules that can actually change your life. If you've ever wondered, why do some people seem to build wealth effortlessly while others work so hard and have nothing to show for it? This episode might have some clues. All right, let's go. Rule number 1, live within your means. Spend intentionally. So, I want to set the scene by first of all saying, I am not going to be the money mentor who talks to you about cutting back on coffees. I really think that building a wealthy life is about living the life that you want to lead along the way, not just in 20 years, 50 years' time when you retire. So if you do want to expand your lifestyle, if there are things you love doing that you want to keep on doing or that you want to start doing, you need to expand your income, not your credit card limit. Unfortunately, a lot of people go broke trying to impress other people. The bags, car, whatever it might be. But my experience of rich people is that they aren't cheap. They're just conscious. Let me share an example of this. If you've followed my journey for a while, you will know that I'm in the process of building our dream house at the moment. And I had a meeting this week with our landscape architect, and she was showing me all the beautiful things that you can do for the pool and the backyard. And I said, oh, I wish I had an unlimited budget, but we're going to need to keep this pretty tight. And she said, Claire, everyone has a budget, even the ultra wealthy. And she joked with me, even the really, really rich, sometimes they're in fact the tightest. They aren't just like, go spend whatever. They are watching the dollars closely. And this was a really great reminder that people who have money aren't reckless with it. And sometimes you can observe the way that people spend money, abundantly in some ways, and yet in other ways they can be quite thrifty or quite frugal. What I want you to pay attention to about this rule is being intentional and living within your means. So how do you actually do that? Well, you need a plan. You need a household budget. And if you run a business, you absolutely need a business budget. Full stop. I can't tell you how many people have told me that money is important to them, and yet they don't have a plan in place for how they want to create the life that they tell me they want. Money clarity equals money power. And this is a perfect segue into rule number 2, which is to pay attention to your money. Know your money. This is what financially successful people do. They are paying close attention to their money. Because when you ignore it, that's when you can lose control of what's going on. And a lot of people have this story or this belief that when I earn more, I'm not going to need to worry about managing it. But if we look at a lot of people who've earned a lot of money, MC Hammer, Britney Spears, we know that even when you are earning a ton of money, if you aren't managing it, you can still go broke. So here's what I want to share with you. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where the energy flows, the results grow. If you are someone who is scared of logging into your accounts, or if you think, I don't even know what's going on when it comes to my mortgage or my insurance, that stops now. You cannot change what you refuse to look at. And over the coming weeks and months of the Intentional Money Show, I'm going to be giving you lots of ways that you can do this. Alrighty, rule number 3. Invest. Don't let your money sit around being lazy. Money is a tool. It's meant to work. It's meant to make you more money. Now, I can't give financial advice, but I will say this. When you invest in shares, in property, that is when you are most likely to get a return on the investments that you make. Idle money isn't doing anything for you. Now, there's a Bible story, I might butcher this, so forgive me, but this is what I remember of it. There's a master who gives 3 servants some money to manage. One servant goes and spends it all and has nothing left. One buries it in the ground where it stays totally safe, but creates zero growth. And the third slave invests it and turns that one bag of money into 3. And you can imagine who was the master's favorite. Exactly. The one who multiplied that investment and had more. Your money should be multiplying, not sitting stagnant. Rule number 4 of financially successful people. Be a lifelong learner. Every successful person I know is obsessed with learning. Books, podcasts, coaching, courses, mentors. Because here's the thing, you're either green and growing or you are ripe and rotting. Something you'll realize the more you grow in life is that the most successful people realize how much they don't actually know. They are curious. They know they don't know enough. So stay hungry, stay curious, and stay teachable. Rule number 5 that I have noticed about financially successful people, they act decisively because indecision costs more money than bad decisions. Successful people, the leaders that I know, they make decisions quickly. If it's a yes, they move. If it's a no, they move. They stop entertaining it. They're like, right, let's move on. And even if it's a scary decision, if they know that it's a yes, they still act. They walk towards it because nothing changes until you move. So, why do these rules, these habits matter? Because your life, it's built from your habits. And your financial future is built from those tiny behaviors that you make over time, those decisions that compound. And here's the best thing about these habits that I spoke about. None of these habits are elitist. You don't need to have a millionaire family or a fancy degree or a lucky break. You just need to start to change the way that you do things. It's the habits that stack. And if you start to implement these rules, your financial situation will start to look totally different. So I want you to reflect for a moment. What's a rule that you're already strong at? And what are some areas that need your attention ASAP? I want to ask your help with something. If you've got someone in your life who keeps saying, next year will be my year, but they keep doing the same thing over and over again, send them this episode, please. Share it with your mum, your best mate, your neighbor, anyone who needs a financial reboot. I'd be incredibly grateful if you could share it on your social media. And make sure you tag me. I'm at Clare, CLARE _Wood, WOOD _coach. So I can bob you a big thank you for sharing the message. If you've loved episode 1 of the Intentional Money Show, please make sure you subscribe because all the coming episodes, they're going to be big, juicy, and are here to help you change the way that you think about money forever. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you again next week. Adios.